Of Richmond, the same start place, the Botanical Gardens that the riders will be starting in, Lewis Ginter Botanical Gardens. 6 riders in the teams, 27 teams, 3-minute intervals. And we'll find out who will be crowned the world champions. Well, of course, last year it was BMC Racing Team who beat Orica Green Edge and Omega Pharma Quickstep. And the previous 2 seasons, Omega Pharma Quickstep were the winners of the team time trial. Let's leave you with a few little sights and sounds of Richmond. A great place to have the World Championships. So today we're going to see the teams take to the start in 3-minute intervals. BMC Racing Team will be the last team. Orica Green Edge just before them. Ethics Quickstep now, previous winners on 2 different occasions. They will be the 3rd last team to go. Also taking part today, Team Katusha, Movistar, Team Sky, Tinkoff Saxo. All the top world teams are here. Astana, Lotto Soudal, Team Giant Alpecin, etc. Here's the teams then as they warm up, ready for the race start in the sunshine. United Healthcare, there's the Cannondale Garmin squad. They are getting ready for action. Cannondale Garmin, there's the BMC Racing Team of last year. We were in Ponferrada. And the team made up of Rowan Dennis, Sylvain Dillier, Daniel Oss, Kinziato, TJ Van Garderen and Peter Velits. Most of that squad are intact for this year's race. They powered their way into the finish line. They beat Orica Green Edge by a slender advantage. Orica Green Edge with Luke Durbridge, Michael Hepburn, Howson, Lancaster, Maurice and Tuft. And as you can see, when they raced into the finish line, it was BMC who beat them by 31 seconds into 2nd place. All smiles for them. They've lost TJ Van Garderen today. Van Garderen recovering from injury. They've also left Peter Velits out, which is a little bit of a surprise. Peter Velits has been a member of winning teams for the last 3 seasons. There's the weather conditions, 26 degrees centigrade. Sunny, 20 kilometers an hour wind. And here is the course. 38.6 kilometers. Exactly the same course that the women faced. And the riders will have that final little climb, which is going to be very, very difficult indeed. It's all going to be about control. It's going to be about how the riders manage to keep the energy, keep the tempo. I was talking to the teams yesterday. They said it's a ride for the power bike riders in the squads. We'll see what happens. Here we are in the Lewis Ginter Botanical Gardens, ready for the first team to take to the start line. Here's our starting order today then. Champion System will be the first team to take to the start. The Roubaix Racing team will be second. Some of the American squads first. Alexander Vinokurov's squad will be starting his own team there, you can see, in 5th place. Then we get into the well-known squads: Yam Cycling, Canadel Garmin, FDJ, Lotto NL Jumbo. Counting our way through to Team 24, Katusha. Ahead of them is Movistar. Team Sky had a terrible crash yesterday. They are going to start with all their riders, but Elia Viviani is really struggling. BMC Racing team, the last team to go. Ahead of them, Orica Green Edge and Ethics Quickstep.
Entering the start house now is the American registered Champion System Stands No Tubes professional cycling team. Please welcome from the United States, Mac Caston. From the United States, Drew Christopher.
The first team then taking to the start.
Andrew Clements.
5 of the riders from the United States of America, 1 from Colombia. Charles Cassin, Drew Christopher, Andrew Clements, Brian Gomez, Max Corus and George Simpson, the first team to take to the start line. Well, for some of these teams, the experience of riding these World Championships is something that they will never forget, up against the teams like BMC Racing Team and the squads who've just come out of the Vuelta a España and the Tour de France.
And we are now 30 seconds to start.
Well, join us on Twitter this afternoon if you'd like to. That's not Velocio Schramm on the screen, as you can see. It is the new Champion System Stands No Tube squad. Do join us on Twitter at @McCrossan if you would like to join me this afternoon. Rochelle has run away to see her Wiggle Honda team, and she will be joining us for all the women's races throughout this week. Champion System then underway in this blue-coloured kit. We'll have the same intermediate time splits: 1 at 10 kilometres, 1 at 17.8, 1 at 31.1. There are the points where we'll get a good indication of how things are going out on the course today. It was nice to see some of these teams yesterday warming up on the course, getting an idea of what it's going to be like competing against the teams of the World Tour. And so they get into their stride now, the Champion System squad, just getting the tempo started, trying to stay in on the wheels. And as the race unfolds, you'll be able to see more and more well-drilled squads, the teams that have put so much into trying to win these world title medals. The BMC team, of course, have got Marco Pinotti, a former winner of the Giro d'Italia time trial, and he is their technical advisor on the team time trial. I've seen him in the hotel over the last few days. He has been giving them all their guidance to make sure that they can bring home these medals yet again. And some pretty hard decisions, trying to work out what is their best option as far as the different riders in the squad are concerned. This first team then, 3 minutes is the time gap. And then our second team to go will be the Roubaix Racing team, another United States squad, who will be underway very, very soon indeed. Then it's the Estella cycling team, Jelly Belly, James Hagen's Berman will be the next squad to go. Got riders like Sebastian Haedo in their team, who's got a lot of experience. As we take a look here at Team Lotto NL Jumbo, they're just warming up, getting themselves ready. Robert Hessink, Wilco Kelderman, Thomas Leeser, Martin Cialinghi, Jos van Emden and Sepp van Marken, who said yesterday that this course is very, very difficult indeed. Roubaix Racing Team then on the start line: Mathieu Jeunesse of France, Evan Murphy of the United States, Carl Murphy, Michael Allheiser, Mike Stone and Thomas Vabouzai of France. Two French riders, the rest are all Americans, about to get themselves underway.
Ladies and gentlemen,
interesting tattoo on the inside of that rider's arm. I think it might be an armadillo or something he's got as a tattoo. We'll check when he gets back to the finish. I think that might be Mike Stone. Real focus and concentration for these squads then. Roubaix Racing Team are underway, the second team of the riders today to take to the start line. The next squad to go will be the Estella cycling team from the United States of America. It's 5 riders from the United States and 1 from Great Britain.
entering the start house. Wait.
Looking down on one of the first teams to take to the start then, as they just get things going. A massive crowd. And normally what we see is the crowd building over the week or so, but it looks to me like everyone is out already enjoying this, enjoying the atmosphere. There's fan parks and fan zones around Richmond. And here's our next team to take to the start line. I saw this squad warming up yesterday. This is the Estella cycling team. Cortland Brown, Brandon Feary, Dan Gardner of Great Britain. The rest are all Americans. Max Jenkins, Jacob Sittler and Jake Sliverberg are the team of the Estella cycling team who are taking to the start. If you'd like to tweet me, @AntMcCrossan is where you can join me during today's coverage of this men's team time trial. First of our intermediate time splits will be at 10 kilometres. The second at 17.8, the third at 31.1. The Estella cycling team then underway. Looks like they've only got 5 riders in their squad, so 1 rider not taking to the start line. And just looking to see which rider it is that hasn't taken to the start. So, you know, some riders wake up in the morning, they don't feel too strong. And it looks like it's Cortland Brown who has not taken the start for the Estella cycling team. So it's Brandon Feary, Dan Gardner, Max Jenkins, Jacob Sittler and Jake Sliverberg who are the squads who have taken to the start line today. One of the riders just pointing out one of the little marks on the course so they don't hit it. Max Jenkins just keeping all these riders intact, making sure everyone's safe. And with 5 riders only taken to the start line, it of course means that they have only the ability to lose 1 rider. Interesting to see the different components, the different skin suits that these riders are wearing. You can just see earlier how close-fitting the women's skin suits were. Absolutely made to be as aerodynamic as possible. Some of these other squads don't have the budgets to compete, but this squad has been around a long time. It's great to see them in these World Championships. This is the Jelly Belly, powered by Max's squad. They've been around the United States cycling scene for a long, long time. This team then, the Moldovan Alexander Brajko, Gavin Mannion of the United States of America, Lachlan Morton of Australia, Fred Rodriguez, Fast Freddy Rodriguez, Taylor Sheldon and Nikolai Tanovici are the squad of Jelly Belly. Very well drilled team, nice setup.
Inside 10 seconds.
And Fast Freddy Rodriguez, there he is. He's ridden with some of the top teams in the world. His experience will help this team ride this team time trial as they go down the start ramp and get underway. And Fast Freddy Rodriguez is the rider who's going to lead them out on the roads of Richmond. That's 4 teams that have taken to the starts. Here we are with the Jelly Belly team. On the back of the squad is Fast Freddy Rodriguez. In front of him is Alexander Brajko. The speed you can see there on the GPS, pretty fast, 55, 56k an hour as they rocket on a little bit. Just trying to get themselves settled in after that adrenaline rush that always happens as they go down the start ramp in front of a huge crowd, particularly when it's a world title. A few little humps and bumps on this course, so you have to be a little bit careful, and the course is so fast that you do have to pay very good attention, because on these low profile bikes you hit a bump and you crash pretty badly. And yesterday we saw that with Team Sky. They crashed, 3 riders hitting the deck: Luke Rowe, Elia Viviani and Danny Pate. I was talking to Steve Cummings yesterday and he said that Danny Pate at lunchtime was absolutely covered in road rash. Elia Viviani is the worst hurt of the team. He's got a little bit of a knee injury. Luke Rowe has been one of the riders who have been talked about as a rider who might be in the mix at the finish of the World Championships road race on Sunday, but that crash won't have helped his chances at all. Unfortunate to see. The team then underway. Lachlan Morton, the Australian rider, is in here. A very good rider indeed, 23 years of age. He's won a stage in the Tour of Utah, and he is a rider who's finished in the top places, 6th overall in the Tour of Langkawi as well. This is the Jamis Hagens Berman team with Lucas Haedo of Argentina, Daniel Jaramillo of Colombia, Stephen Lees and Carson Miller of the United States of America, Luis Romero and David Williams. They're underway then. They roll down the start ramp. Lucas Haedo, we know, has won a stage of San Luis in 2009. He previously rode for Saxo Bank and for Cannondale, as well as Skydive Dubai. He was because memorably in 2012 he was 4th on a stage of the Giro d'Italia. So he's underway now in this World Championship as we see the arrival at the first of the intermediate time splits. Champion system 11:44.54.
10 seconds.
Just to give you a bit of a comparison, Boels-Dolmans went through that in 11:52.54. Just to compare the sort of speeds that the teams are doing. But Jam is there at 58 kilometers an hour. They're kicking on. Also in the team, Daniel Jaramillo, the Colombian rider, 24 years of age. Twice he's won a stage of the Tour of Gila. And he's ridden for this team for a couple of seasons. He also rode for the Colombia Col Deportes team in 2013. We're on board then with this squad of the Jamis Hagens Berman team. Jamis is their bike manufacturer as they look to maintain this tempo. Huge crowd now building throughout the afternoon. It's now 1:45 as we see the arrival of Lupus Racing Team at the first intermediate time split. And it looks like they are going to go quicker than the Champion Systems team. 11:44.54 was their time. It's going to be a little bit closer though. 11:40.20, 51.414 kilometers an hour for that squad. So they go top of the leaderboard as we go back to the starting ramp.
There's the 10-second warning.
Now this is a team that Alexander Vinokurov has. It's called Vino Forever. Stefanas Tupayev, Zandos Biskitov, Yevgeny Jidic, Dmitry Lukyanov, Alexander Shushmoin and Oleg Zemlyakov. I guess a little bit like some of the pro teams, the ex-pro riders have got their own squads. Vino Forever is that team of Kazakhstan, all Kazakhstan riders. Three-minute intervals, as we've mentioned, between these squads. The 21-year-old in the team here, Stepan Astafiev, 54 kilometers an hour. He's the rider wearing number 211. On the back of the group there is Shushmoin. As they just get into this tempo right now. And Shushmoin making his way up and almost touching the wheel there. A stage winner in the Tour of Iran this season in 2015. And has finished third in the Tour of Japan back in 2010. See though that the skin suits on here not as tight-fitting as the aero skin suits that we have seen in the previous women's time trial. So there's a little bit of aerodynamic advantage could be gained by making these skin suits a little bit more coutured, I suppose, fitted more closely, with the little seams being thought about a little bit more closely. But here we are out on the course. Still Lupus Racing Team are the leaders at the 10-kilometer point. 11:40.20 is their time. 51.414 kilometers an hour. Outside my window, everyone looks to be enjoying themselves. Big giant screens are out. The crowd cheering these riders on. They'll cheer every single squad, give them as much encouragement as they possibly can.
30 seconds.
Here's the Hincapie Racing team.
Let's do it, boys.
There's the 10-second warning. Richmond makes some noise for the American registered Hincapie
The Hincapie Racing team. Mackenzie Brennan, Oscar Clark, Ons Vlaxis, Tyler Magner, Tom Skewins and Dion Smith are the Hincapie Racing team. They're underway then. A team made up of Americans, Latvians and New Zealanders. A stellar cycling team arrive at the 10-kilometre point, 12:00.78. Back out here with this Hincapie Racing team, and Hincapie led by Matt Brennan, 5th in the Bucks County Classic in 2014, a 25-year-old rider. This squad really are a team that is there to develop young riders as much as they possibly can. Run, of course, with the name of George Hincapie and his clothing company that was started really by his brother. It's a clothing company with a story of real success over the last few years. Also in this team is Ty Magner. Look out for him. He is the rider who is wearing number 204 in the string, just towards the middle of the group, going up to take his turn now. A stage winner in the Tour of China in 2012, and also was 4th on a stage of the USA Pro Challenge. I saw this team warming up yesterday. They look pretty good. They've got a very, very nice setup indeed. The next squad then to take to the start will be Optum, powered by Kelly Benefit Strategies. And this team have got some very, very good time trialists in their squad. One of them in particular, Tom Zerbel, wearing number 195. Tom Zerbel, you may remember, was 4th in the UCI World Championships in 2009 as an individual time trialist.
There's the 30-second warning.
Has ridden for this squad since 2012. And they're about to get underway. Ryan Anderson, Jesse Anthony, Guillaume Bourvin, another very strong Canadian bike rider, Thomas Soliday, Tom Zerbel and Scott Zwizanski. They're about to get started, rolling down the start ramp. Guillaume Bourvin, the Canadian rider, he rode for the Cannondale team in 2013. Has finished 3rd in a race called the Trobro Lyon and was 2nd on a stage, you may remember, of the Vuelta a España in 2014. So we're starting to get into the squads who've got a little bit more experience in their midst. So we should start to see the times go quicker. Team Jelly Belly have just gone through here, the intermediate time split. Fastest time, 11:37.95 is the fastest time to that point. Out on the course with the Champion Systems team. They've just reached the second of our splits, 17.8 kilometers, 20 minutes 59.43. That's the standard for everyone else to beat. Well, do join us on Twitter if you'd like to, @AntMcCrossan, if you would like me to ask any of your questions. Thanks to Emma for reminding me that you say Lachlan as a part for Lachlan Morton as opposed to Lachlan Morton. We say Lachlan in Scotland, so you say Lachlan in Australia. There we go. It's like tomato, tomato. But thank you very much. I want to make sure we keep all of you watching this racing up to date, and also we get all the names right. That's very, very important indeed. Optima out on the course. We're looking here at the black and yellow clad Hincapie team. They look like they are riding strongly. Their average speed, or their GPS speed right now, 52.9 kilometers an hour. I can't help but think these riders will be very, very motivated. The crowds are already big, and the fact that you're racing through streets lined by people is very, very motivational. So it just keeps the adrenaline nice and high, keeps you powering on, and this Hincapie team looking very, very good.
"30 seconds. Inside 10 seconds. They're underway. The American Registered United Healthcare Professional Cycling Team.
The arrival of Lupus Racing Team at the second of our intermediate time splits. Fastest time, 20:58.58. United Healthcare underway. They were the team in blue and white. Here we are joining up with them. The team made up of Carlos Alzate Escobar of Colombia, Adrian Hegvari of the United States of America, Carl Menzies of the Australian rider, John Murphy, Kiel Reinen. Now, Kiel Reinen's just signed a big contract, of course, for next season with the Trek Factory Racing Team, and Bradley White of the United States of America. These 6 riders, we've seen their women's team ride well earlier on. Look at that, their GPS speed 60k an hour, so there's some firepower in this team. The tempo in the United Healthcare squad looking very, very good indeed. Now, Kiel Reinen's twice winner of the Philly Classic, stage winner in the USA Pro Challenge, stage winner in the Tour of Utah. Next year he will be with Trek Factory Racing. He's signed a contract for 2 seasons. Still here with the Hincapie Racing Team. The 2 Latvian riders in here will help them out, Anders Flaxis and Tom Skewins. Both very, very good riders indeed. Tyler Magner is the shortest rider in this group, as you can see, just tucked in, wearing number 204. Tom Skewins towards the back of the group now. The next team to be underway as we take a look at Katusha. Katusha will be starting towards the back end of this field. Katusha, Sergei Chinetsky, Kuznetsov, Lagutin, Porsev, Smukulis and Zakharin. But this team now sort of smiling. They know it's going to be painful. Top Sport Vlaanderen. Better to get underway. It's now 1:57 in the afternoon here in the United States. Victor Kampenerts, Peter Jacobs, Oliver Neisen, Stein Steels, Arthur van Overberg and Jelle Valais are the team of Top Sport Vlaanderen. They're now underway. Jelle Valais in this team, a very strong classic specialist. Remember talking about him in the World Ports Classic. He won a stage in 2013 as we see the arrival of Vino Forever at the first of our intermediate time splits. With Vino's in the car, he'll be urging them on a little bit more because they're outside the time of the Jelly Belly squad, who are fastest to that point. As we join up with the Astella cycling team out on the course at the second of intermediate time splits, they're going to be outside that of Lupus Racing Team. So we were just talking about Jelle Valais, the Top Sport Vlaanderen rider. He's a really strong rider in the classics. He won the Paris Tours as an under-23 bike rider. So here we are with Top Sport Vlaanderen. Jelle Valais will be driving them on a little bit as they just get into now their Aero Tuck, 61 kilometers an hour. Their speed right now. The arrival of Jelly Belly then at the second of our intermediate time splits. Let's see their time. They're looking good. Lupus Racing Team were the fastest team to this point. 20:58.58. It looks like Jelly Belly are going to race through there with the fastest time, 20:35.97, 51.846 kilometers an hour. Yam Cycling then on the start ramp. Matthias Brentler, the winner of the holder of the world hour record previously. Stef Clement, Jerome Coppel, Reto Hollenstein, Jarlensen Pantano and Alexis Saramotins are underway. So we're getting into the World Tour teams in this World Championship team time trial. Yam Cycling, Brentler will be very, very useful indeed. He looks to me like he's on good form. I commentated on the Quebec race the other week, and Brentler was looking good. The arrival of Hincapie Racing at the second intermediate time split. I'm wondering, actually, that's the first intermediate time split. 11:46.60, 8 seconds down on the time of Jelly Belly, who are still the fastest team to that point. But that's going to change surely, isn't it? Wherever you're watching, thank you very much for joining us for these World Team Time Trial Championships, the traditional now opener to the World Championships. Brought back in 2012, the Team Time Trial. This one was won by Omega Pharma Quick Step. Omega Pharma Quick Step won 2013, 2012. BMC won it last season. Yam Cycling just getting into this opening few kilometers. Looking down on the Jelly Belly team as they continue at around about 53 kilometers an hour. Debbie McKenzie was just asking me on Twitter at @McCrossan whether there's any Africans riding in the racing today. There's not actually, but there is in the individual time trial. I saw Daniel Tekelemenot out warming up yesterday, as we see Optum go through. Fastest time, 11:13.56 on the first intermediate time split, 53.447. So we're not seeing MTN Quebecer taking to the start today. I was talking to Stephen Cummings yesterday. He's riding the individual time trial as well. Yeah, but no African riders in this team time trial today, as we see Cannondale Garmin on the start line. Christian Koren of Slovenia, Sebastian Langefeld, the winner of Onlaped Neusblad, Alan Marangoni, the Italian, Lorena Moser, the winner of Strade Bianche, Ramunas Navadauskas of Lithuania, and Dylan Van Baarle, the winner of the Tour of Britain last season. Cannondale Garmin underway. Out on the road then with Yam Cycling. They really are motoring on, aren't they? Reto Hollenstein is the rider on the back of the group, wearing number 164. And the rider who just kicked on the pace a little bit was Alexis Saramotins of Latvia. Look at the power they're putting in, 52k an hour. There's Cannondale Garmin. Christian Koren, the Slovenian rider, right on the back of the group, working his way through now. 155, Ramunas Navadauskas. Navadauskas, a really strong time trialist. 65 kilometers an hour now for this Cannondale team. So they're just making their changes. Alan Marangoni, the Italian lead-out man, going to the back of the group. A very good sprinter. We're getting the lovely helicopter shots out in the forest area outside of Richmond here in Virginia. Still at the intermediate time splits, though, it's Optum who are the fastest team at the opening time split, 11:13.56. The second time split is Jelly Belly, 20:35. And the arrival now of United Healthcare at the first of our intermediate time splits today. We'll see what sort of time they can produce. Escobar, Adrian Hevgavi, Carl Menzies, John Murphy, Keorainen and Bradley White. Almost now at this intermediate time split. Still, it's going to be Optum. It's no real surprise that Optum are riding so well. They have got some good time trialists in their squad. United Healthcare 11:28.66, 15 seconds down on the time of Optum, powered by Kelly Benefit Strategies. So this is the fastest team on the course at this moment in time as we go back to the start, and this is the start now of FDJ. Honor Demar, Alexander Genier, Mathieu Ladagno, Johan Le Bon, Steve Morabito of Switzerland and Jeremy Roy, the team now of FDJ, about to roll down the start ramp and get into this team time trial. Arnaud Demar, the sprinter in this squad, a good member of this team. He was the winner, of course, of the Under-23 World Road Race Championships in 2011, actually in Copenhagen, where we see now Vino Forever arriving at the intermediate time split. The second one, 21:05.76, 29 seconds down on Jelly Belly. But Optum still looking good out on this course, but one of their riders is really suffering. As you can see, having to sprint to stay in the wheels, and that is Ryan Anderson, who's having to just dig really deep now to stay with it. Champion System arrive at the third intermediate time split. 36:55.72 is the time to beat. On the back of the group then, 144 is Johan Le Bon. This team looked very well drilled today. A stage winner in the Eneco Tour and wearing number 144. And has also been second in the Roubaix Lyon. It's kind of a race which is on and off road. Some gravel and country roads that they race on. Very tough bike race to win. And classics riders tend to like it. 24 years of age, making his way up the string now. Alexander Genier, the rider who is now on the back, wearing number 142. You can see just how much work they're having to do just to stay in the slipstream, stay in the string. Genier, the 27-year-old who won a stage of the Vuelta a España in 2013. He was the winner of the Roubaix Lyon. And Genier 9th in the Giro d'Italia in 2015 as well. This year, we remember that, finishing in Milano. As we go through these different areas with the crowd urging these riders on. The arrival of the Hincapie Racing team at the second of our intermediate time splits. This is the fastest time so far is 20:35.97. And the Hincapie team are arriving there now. They're outside the time of Jelly Belly. And their time is going to be around about 20:46. So good enough for second place so far in this time trial. Next team to go then, the Dutch squad of Team Lotto NL Jumbo. 6 riders: Robert Hessink, Wilco Kelderman, Tom Leeser, Martin Chalingi, Jos van Emden, Sepp van Marken. The team then are underway. Sepp van Marken in this team, the winner of Omloop Het Nieuwsblad in 2012. You may remember he finished second in the Paris-Roubaix in 2013. Jelly Belly looking down at them from the helicopter. Well, the teams, the big teams are starting to get close to starting now. Back out on the course with the Optum powered by Kelly Benefit Strategies, the fastest team at the opening intermediate time split. They are heading now towards intermediate time split number 2. The fastest time to there, 20 minutes 35.97, an average speed to that point of 51.8 kilometers an hour by the Jelly Belly team. And here is Lotto NL Jumbo. I love the team time trial, the formation, the way that the riders ride so closely together. It's quite artistic at times when you get some of the magnificent camera shots. Lotto NL Jumbo with Hessink, who is one, of course, the Grand Prix Quebec, and rode very well this season. He's had a good season. But the arrival now of Yam Cycling at the first intermediate time split, and they are the fastest team. 10 minutes 59.82 for Yam Cycling. There's the BMC Racing team warming up. Great to see this man back racing, isn't it? Taylor Phinney. Interesting sunglasses he's wearing today. Trek Factory Racing about to start. Marco Coladan, Stein de Volder, Fabio Fellini, Marco Irizar, Jesse Sargent, the New Zealander, and Ricardo Zoidel, the Austrian rider. Trek Factory Racing, I had a chat to yesterday to their team manager Luca, and he said this is a course for the big powerful bike riders. They're hoping to do well. They're not got as much firepower as the likes of BMC and Ethics, but they said yesterday the Recon went very well and they think they can do something, so they're going to give it a good shot. Luca Guerciolina is the team director. Fabio Fellini of Italy leads the team out on the course. They've had to think about their formation. A few people crossing the road a little bit close to a team that are going at 50 kilometers an hour, maybe not understanding quite how fast these teams go. But the tempo in Trek Factory Racing already very, very high indeed. I don't know what's going on here. They're on the wrong side of the road by the looks of things, the team. That's why those that couple were crossing the road, and that gentleman got out of the way very, very quickly indeed. So they're back out on the course properly, on the right-hand side of the road, and now they are motoring and riding really well. On the left-hand side, it would have been a bit of a shock for that those two riders riding their bikes to see Trek Factory Racing go flying past them, but they used their intelligence very well there. Look at the speed of Trek Factory Racing though, 63k an hour. A little bit of a problem for Jesse Sargent, just having to do the shoes up, which is really more difficult than you think at 60k an hour and through aero booties. The arrival then of Team Cannondale Garmin at the first of our intermediate time splits. The fastest time to here was Yam Cycling. They're going to be outside that time, 11 minutes 3.50. Still the average speed, 54.258 kilometers an hour. The arrival then of United Healthcare at the intermediate time split. The fastest time there, 19:55.78. United Healthcare arrive 22 seconds down.
Seconds.
Here's the start then of Lompre Merida. What a bit of business they did to sign Luis Menkes for the 2016 season, taking him away from MTN Quebeca, which everyone thought was his home forever. Right, this team have a former world champion, Rui Costa, the winner of the road race in Firenze.
Out of Italy,
they're underway in the fuchsia pink and blue. Mattia Cataneo, Rui Costa, Luca Pivanik, Ruben Plaza, Jan Polanc and Nelson Oliveira, the Portuguese rider. Two Portuguese riders in this team with Rui Costa. Rui Costa's been looking good this season. I wonder whether he's in with a shout of being in the mix in the World Championships again. 31.1 kilometers, the arrival of Jelly Belly, 35:57.79. Their average speed still over 51 kilometers an hour and nudging 52 kilometers an hour. Kind of forget, don't you, sometimes, that Lompre Merida's Rui Costa has actually won the Tour de Suisse on 4 occasions. Cataneo is the rider wearing number 111 in this team, the 24-year-old young rider who has ridden for Lompre since he was a trainee in 2012. But they seem to be working well on the opening kilometre. Luka Pivanik is right on the back of the group, 113, 21-year-old. It's a young team here. He's 3 times winner of the Slovenian Road Race Championships and 5th in the World Championship Road Race for under-23s in 2012. The arrival then of our first team to the finish line. This is the arrival of Champion System. Stands at no tubes. And we'll see their time. Here we go, heading into the finish line now for the Champion System team. Just to remind ourselves, the Boels-Dolmans team finished in 47 minutes 41.94. Champion System are going to be really close to that time. And they are going to hit the line now. Champion System set the standard, 47.22.48, 48.887 kilometers an hour. As you do La Mondiale on the start line, Jonas Bagnonas, Damien Gaudin, Patrick Gretsch, Hugo Hüller, the Canadian rider, Christophe Riblon, and Johan van Summeren. Riblon, the French rider who's won 2 stages of the Tour de France.
Make some noise for
Stage winner in the Tour of Poland, and has finished 7th overall in the Criterium de Dauphiné. Winner of Paris-Roubaix, Johan van Summeren, also in this team, the tallest rider in the peloton, sitting there second wheel. And this team have got a good squad out here in these World Championship team time trial. Keeping the tempo and the formation looking good as Damien Gaudin goes to the back of the group, a stage winner in the Paris-Nice. Hitting about 60 k's an hour as they make their way slightly downhill. Still the fastest team at the second intermediate time split is Optum, but that may well change very, very soon because Yam Cycling are now arriving there. The fastest time there, 19:55.78. It's a little bit windier out on the course now, so Optum's time has now just been beaten by Yam Cycling, 19:36.59, 54.462 kilometers an hour for Yam Cycling. Very impressive indeed. As you do La Mondiale, you can see the left on the left-hand side, the radio just tucking out of the skin suit. It's put slightly to one side just in case riders crash, and they don't want it right on the spine. The arrival of our next team into the finish line. This is the Lupus Racing team. Can they beat that time of 47.22.48? It's going to be very, very close. But they're going to be slightly outside, 47.25.96, second so far. Here we are at the start. This should be the start of Team Giant Alpecin with Niki Assant, Chad Hager, Tobias Ludvigsen, George Priedler and Raymond Sinkeldam. But importantly in this team, be interesting to see how he's recovered. Tom Dumoulin, the revelation of the Vuelta a España. He led the race until the penultimate day. The big question is he mentally tired? Because he's going to be physically tired, but is he mentally... Because he had enough after what is only a week since the end of the Vuelta a España. But we know that Dumoulin, 2 stages he won this year, 2 stages in the Tour de Suisse. He's had a fantastic season. A stage winner in the Eneco Tour in 2014. Here we are then, Team Lotto Jumbo out on the course as they go through that corner. Big acceleration by this Team Lotto Jumbo team. And they're looking pretty good as they go over the crest of this climb. And looking, it's a problem here. Well, they were looking good, but one of their riders has got a problem, and he's now going to be left behind. And this is Team Lotto Jumbo with Jos van Emden. Took a long time to get the bike off the roof, unfortunately. So Jos van Emden now, he'll never catch up with the team. He leaves them with 5 riders. And Team Giant Alpecin out on the course. Tom Dumoulin, what a fantastic Vuelta a España he had. The Dutch rider from Maastricht. We understand that his big aim really is for Rio to win the individual time trial. So his season next year will be interesting the way it is constructed to try and win in Rio. The arrival then of Vino Forever, third place team to this point, 36.55.26. Still Jelly Belly are the fastest squad, but here come Cannondale to the second intermediate time split by the looks, the first intermediate time split. And Cannondale go through, sorry, the second one, I was right in the first place, 19:43.89. Yam Cycling still lead, 19:36.59 at the second point on the course. Yam Cycling have lost a rider here. Just wondering who will have dropped off the pace. Whoops, almost touching wheels there. Sarah Motins had to be a little bit careful and right himself. It was Hollenstein who's in front of him. The arrival then at the finish line. And this is the Astella cycling team. The time to beat, 47:22.48. They're not going to do that. So it looks like Champion System will still be in the hot seats as the leader of this team time trial. See, the crowd is getting bigger and bigger. 48 minutes 5.39. Third fastest so far. The arrival of Trek Factory Racing Team at the first intermediate time split. They go through there. 11 minutes 10.32. Team Lotto Jumbo still the leaders at that first point as we go back to the start with Lotto Soudal. Lars Bakker, stage winner in Giro d'Italia. Thies Benoot, he's a fantastically talented bike rider. Tony Galopin, a stage winner in the Tour de France. Yellow jersey in the Tour de France, of course. Greg Henderson of New Zealand. Jürgen Rolands and Tim Vellens. They are underway now. Thies Benoot. Thies Benoot second in the Baloise Belgium Tour as we're out on the course with Yam Cycling. 8th in the Eneco Tour as well. He's only 21 years of age. Thies Benoot, very talented indeed. The arrival then of Team Jelly Belly at the finish line, 45.49.60, top of the leaderboard. Jelly Belly then the leaders as we go back on the course with Hincapie Racing. 36 minutes 12.50. Good enough for second place right now. Jelly Belly 35.57.79. There's Fast Freddy Rodriguez of Team Jelly Belly. Saying, taking a bow on his career. He did say that the World Championships would end everything in his cycling career, and so he has done so. He has done pretty much everything as Fast Freddy Rodriguez. The arrival then of Lampre Merida at the first intermediate time split. Still Lotto Jumbo are the leaders. They go through 11:15.51, 7th place for them. Astana on the start line. Lars Boom, Jakob Fuglsang, Andre Grifko, Tano Kanget, Alexei Lutsenko and Luis Leon Sanchez. So Astana are underway. This could be a fast time from them. past. Freddy Rodriguez, a stage winner in the Giro d'Italia, second in Milano-San Remo in 2002. Stage winner in the Tour de Suisse, stage winner in Luxembourg. He's had a great career since 1999. He rode for Mappe, rode for David Menlotto, and ended his career in the last few years with Team Jelly Belly. Astana out on the course. Just to update you then, out on the course right now, the first intermediate time split is Team Lotto Jumbo, the leaders, in 10:49.05. The second intermediate time split, it's Yam Cycling in 19:36.59, and then it's Optum at intermediate time split number 3, who are the fastest time. And at the finish line so far, Jelly Belly are the leaders, 45:49.60. We're waiting for the arrival of the next teams to all the intermediate time splits. 7 teams left to take to the start. And the arrival now of the next team at the finish line. And this is the team of Jamis Hagensberman. And they will hit the line now in a time of 46:19.50, outside the time of Team Lotto Jumbo. Team Lotto Jumbo now arriving at the second intermediate time split. Fastest time for them, 19:27.93. As we see Agiduela Mondiale now arrive at the first of the intermediate time splits, 10:49.05, the fastest time of Lotto Jumbo, and Agiduela Mondiale 8th fastest to that point, 11:15.72. The start then of Team Sky with Manuele Buaro, Machi Bodnar, Chris Juul Jensen, who is moving on to Orica Green Edge, Michael Rogers, Peter Sagan, the green jersey of the Tour de France, and Michael Volgren Andersen of Denmark. Tinkoff Saxo, there is Michael Rogers, a multiple winner of the individual world time trial. There on the left-hand side, the Australian rider. Can he guide these troops through to do something special today? Always calm. There they go. Sagan and the rest of the squad are on the roads of Richmond. Out on the road with Yam Cycling now. They're looking good. They've only got 5 riders here, Yam Cycling, but you can see they're kicking on a little bit. Working hard at the back is Jarlinson Pantano, the Colombian rider. The fact he's the shortest rider in the team, but it doesn't seem to matter. He's powerful and he stays in there. Right, Tinkoff Saxo with Manuele Buaro, Matti Bodnar, Chris Juul Jensen, the Irish-Danish rider. Michael Rogers, Peter Sagan, Michael Volgren Andersen. Tinkoff Saxo looking good. Sagan finally winning a stage of a Grand Tour. Can he win the World Championship road race at the weekend? 25 years of age. What a career he's had so far, considering he's only 25. 4 stages in the Tour de France, 13 stage wins in the Tour of California, 11 stages in the Tour de Suisse, as we see the arrival now at the finish line of the Vino Forever team. The fastest time, 45:49.60. Vino Forever, 46:51.81. 3rd place so far. The arrival of Team Giant Alpecin at the first intermediate time split, second fastest time, 10:51.85 for that squad. Back to the start line for Team Sky, who are completely banged up after yesterday's crash that took out 3 riders. Danny Pate, very sore indeed. You can see the cuts everywhere. Salvatore Puccio. Viviani's got a knee injury after yesterday. Team Sky have finished bronze medal before with Bosenhagen, Froome, Kirienka, Port, Sweetsoff and Thomas. A very different team. Danny Pate's in a lot of difficulty. One of the riders has a big problem here. Who's that that's clicking his feet into the pedals? Luke Rowe, I think. Can they get this one right now? Here they go. Kirienka, Pate, Puccio, Luke Rowe, Ian Stannard and Viviani. I expect to see Viviani drop off this team quite early on, and I think they'll use Danny Pate as far as they possibly can until he has to also drop off with these injuries. But you never know. Danny Pate is a tough bike rider. Team Sky are underway. The arrival then at the finish line. Here's our next team to complete the course. Jelly Belly are still the leaders. 45.49.60. Oh, Hincapie almost crashed in the finishing straight. Almost a big touch of wheels. They're all over the road, so tired. What a job they've done though. 45.51.55, just 1.95 seconds outside the time of Jelly Belly, powered by Maxis, and goes second fastest. Some tired bodies in that squad. Still, it is at the finish line, Jelly Belly, powered by Maxis. They're enjoying being in the hot seats. I don't expect we'll see them there at the finish. That's not a bold prediction to make, but it's unlikely. But they'll have a nice time there nonetheless, in the sunshine and recovering. Yam Cycling. They are the fastest team on the course through the third intermediate time split in 34.24.04, 33 seconds down. Team Sky yesterday so disappointed to crash badly. Sometimes we'll see the true metal now of these guys. Viviani is doing a lot of work. Maybe he's just going to give it as much as he can. 3 stage wins in the Tour of Britain just a week ago. The arrival now of Optum, powered by Kelly Benefit. This is the fastest team on the course, and they hit the line now. New fastest time, 44.31.87, 1 minute 17 ahead. Very, very impressive. The arrival then of Movistar onto the start ramp. Things are going to completely change. We're going to see some great performances, I'm sure. This is Movistar, not Optum on the screen. And there they are with Movistar.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Movistar are underway. Andre Amador, the first Costa Rican winner of the Giro d'Italia. Jonathan Castroviejo, a red jersey wearing the Vuelta a España. Alex Dowsett beat the hour record, held it before Bradley Wiggins took it off him. John Izagiri, Adriano Malori, the under-23 world champion of the time trial previously, and Jascha Sütterlin. Movistar have some firepower. I was talking to Alex Dowsett yesterday after their recon, and he said it's a powerful bike riders course. There's some little technical sections in it, but he feels that Movistar could get on the podium today, and that's something that a team who are so good at team time trials, they haven't been able to do it so far. So let's see whether Movistar can actually now finish on the podium of the World Championships. The team that have, so far the teams that have, BMC, Orica, and Omega Pharma Quick Step. Only one other team has been on the podium, that's Team Sky in 2013. Looking down then on the Movistar team. Astana reach the first intermediate time split. Still the fastest time is 10 minutes 49. And that is Lotto Jumbo. The start of Team Katusha. Sergei Chernetsky, Vyacheslav Kuznetsov, Sergei Lagutin, Alexander Porsev, Gatis Smukalis and Ilna Zakharin.
There's the 10-second warning. Richmond, give it up for the Russians from Team Katusha.
Team Katusha out on the course then with Zakharin, a stage winner, you may remember, on the motor race circuit in Imola in the Giro d'Italia. Chernetsky, Kuznetsov, Lagutin, Porsev, Smukalis are the rest of the Team Katusha. And then we get down to the final three teams to take to the start. This is Team Sky. Despite their crash yesterday, they're still looking pretty good. And the arrival now of United Healthcare at the finish line. United Healthcare hit the line 45 minutes 4.16 outside the time of still the leaders Optum, powered by Kelly Benefit Strategies. Looking down on the Movistar team, but the arrival of Tinkoff Saxo to the first of our intermediate time splits. This is going to be very, very close between Tinkoff Saxo and Lotto Jumbo, but they go through in 10:52.21. They're 3 seconds down on the time of Lotto Jumbo at that point. Lotto Jumbo, though, are the fastest team at the second intermediate time split, 19:27.93. The arrival of Top Sport Vlaanderen now at the finish line. The fastest time is Optum, 44:31.87. Are we going to see a new fastest time? Top Sport Vlaanderen hit the line, 44:27.29. Top of the leaderboard. The leaders then 44:27.29. We go back to the team who have twice won the World Championships. This is Essex Quickstep. Tom Bonen, Mikkel Kwiatkowski, Yves Lampiet, Tony Martin, Niki Terpstra and Rigoberto Urán. Ethics Quickstep then underway. What a team they have got. Tom Bonen, the gold medalist in the team in 2012, bronze medalist last year. Kwiatkowski went on to win the road title, bronze medalist in 2014, gold in 2013. Yves Lampaert, Tony Martin, multiple world champion of the time trial, bronze medalist of 2 golds in winning squads. Niki Terpstra, twice gold medalist and a bronze medalist in these championships, and Rigoberto Urán, who has just won in Quebec just a few days ago with a magnificent win, a last-ditch attack. Movistar out on the course, and it won't be long until we start to get an indication of how they are doing in comparison to all the other teams. Thanks very much for those of you who are messaging me on Twitter. @McCrossan is where you can reach me throughout the World Championships. Thank you for joining me for today's coverage. Here we are with Lotto Soudal out at the second of our intermediate time splits. The fastest time so far to there is 19:27.93. They are just outside the time. This is impressive. 19:28. 19:28.39. Yam Cycling arrive at the finish line, and the time to beat, as we know, is 44:27.29. The Yam Cycling are going to go top of the leaderboard with this performance. Are they going to be the first team under 44? Not quite, but they are going to set the fastest time, sprinting for the finish. 44:05.64. They go top of the leaderboard by 21 seconds. Team Sky through the first intermediate time split. 11 minutes. 11:4.96 for Team Sky. No surprises that they're struggling out there.
There's the 10-second
but
warning.
We'll see what happens. Here's Orica Greenedge. Orica Greenedge have been twice silver, 1 times bronze. Can Orica Greenedge finally win this world title? Sam Bewley, Luke Durbridge, Michael Hepburn, Michael Matthews, Jens Maurice and Svein Tuft. 3 Australians, 1 New Zealander, 1 from the Netherlands, 1 from Canada. And Orica Greenedge, who've been so close to winning this title, can they finally now bring it home? The team, though, Sam Bewley, bronze medalist in 2012 with the squad. Luke Durbridge, twice a silver medalist, 1 times bronze. Michael Hepburn, twice a silver medalist. Michael Matthews has not been a member of this team in a team time trial, but he has, of course, won stages in the Giro d'Italia, worn the Maglia Rosa, and been the under-23 world champion. Jens Maurice, twice a silver medalist and 1 times bronze. Svein Tuft, twice a silver, 1 times a bronze. Let's see whether they can now bring this one home for Orica Greenedge. Only 1 team ready now to take the start, and then all the teams will have started this World Championship team time trial. The arrival of Astana Pro Team at the second intermediate time split. The fastest time here, 19:27.93 for Team Lotto NL Jumbo. And Astana are going to be outside that time, actually. Let's see the time that they set. Here we go. 19:31.56 for the Astana Pro Team, 54.696 kilometers an hour. The finish now of Cannondale Garmin. We're starting to see the big teams arrive. 44.05.64 is the leading time for Yam Cycling. Team Cannondale Garmin, though, They've beaten the time 43.57.77. Very impressive by Cannondale Garmin. They haven't been on the radar at all out on this course. 43.57.77. They've absolutely rocketed the second part of this course. It shows you've got to get your tactics right. Now the defending champions with a slightly changed team. BMC Racing Team, Rowan Dennis. 4 members of this team were the gold medalists last year. Rowan Dennis, Sylvain Dillier, Daniel Oss and Manuel Kinziato now joining up with Stefan Kung and Taylor Finney. The man, the comeback kid, is now going to be rolling down the start ramp. I talked to him yesterday. He's saying to the crowd, come on, give us some cheers, give us some motivation. Taylor Finney wants to be cheered around this course. That's what he said to me yesterday. I want to feel the energy of the United States cheering us on all around the course, and Taylor Finney has asked them to give him a little bit more. And the crowd suddenly go mad. All the teams now are out on the course. Rowan Dennis said to me yesterday, we want to win this one. He was chatting away. He's got to be one of the favourites for the individual time trial as well. The talented Australian. He also broke the hour record this year, a stage winner, of course, in the Tour de France with that magnificent time trial. Out on board now with the Astana team. At the finish line, it is Cannondale Garmin who are the leaders. The only team under the 44-minute mark, 43.57.77. And this is Tinkoff Saxo. A little bit windy out on this section of the course now. Let's get an indication now of how Tinkoff Saxo are doing at this second intermediate time split, the fastest time. Oh, a big crash. Tinkoff Saxo. 2 of the riders hit the deck, and now they have a big problem. Whoa, a big crash. A touch of wheels, and they went down, and now luckily they went into the grass. Here's the replay. What happened here? There was a touch of third wheel there. 2 riders going down. In fact, they didn't hit the grass. Both of them hit the deck very hard. It was the second place rider who took off the 4th place rider. And that was a very heavy crash indeed. Michael Volgren Anderson is just trying to get back on the bike, and it was Michael Rogers who also hit the deck. You can see Michael Volgren Anderson has very little lycra left on that shoulder. Well, just they were so close riding together when they were going up that climb, and suddenly that little touch of wheels put Saxo, team Tinkoff Saxo on the deck. That was a very big crash. So we won't get the Tinkoff Saxo update for a little while. Just updating then, out on the course, it's Team Lotto Jumbo, still the fastest team at the first intermediate time split. At the second, it's still Lotto Jumbo. At the third, it's Lotto Jumbo. They haven't finished yet, so they're not far from the finish line. And out on the course, it is Movistar we're looking at. I think we might have missed the arrival of FDJ, who have just gone faster at the finish line. I've just seen, but Lotto Jumbo will be the next team to finish, and they have been the fastest team out on the course pretty much all of the intermediate time splits. There's Movistar. I've got a very strong team, 6 riders in formation. And here's the arrival of Team Lotto Jumbo. Can they now go top of the leaderboard? Let's have a look. The fastest time that we've seen cross the line, 43.57. But we know FDJ have gone a little bit quicker. But Team Lotto Jumbo look to me like they're going to absolutely smash the time. And they're going to set the standard for everyone else to beat. 43 minutes goes past. There's confirmation that we missed FDJ because of the crash of Tinkoff Saxo. But Team Lotto NL Jumbo heading towards the finish line with 4 riders in the group. They had lost Jos van Emden, of course, with that mechanical problem, but they are going to go into the hot seats. 43.25.00. Team Lotto Jumbo set the standard for all the other squads now to aim for in this World Championship. Well, it was a huge crash for Tinkoff Saxo. Out on the course then, look at this. Ethics Quick Step arrive at the first intermediate time split, and they go quickest in 10:47.07. 10:47.07. Ethics Quick Step now the fastest team on the course. Tony Martin driving them on to try and win this world title. Team Lotto Jumbo still fastest at the second and the third and the finish. As we see Movistar, we haven't got their intermediate time split, but Movistar generally rides steady at the beginning and they increase the tempo all the way along the course. Only two teams left to reach that first intermediate time split. Fastest at the finish, Lotto Jumbo. 43.25.00 is the standard for everyone else now to aim for. Movistar motoring along at just under 50 kilometers an hour on these wide roads. They look like they are certainly working as a cohesive unit, looking strong. Just sheltering each other from the wind, as we've seen. One tiny little error can change the entire race. It's done that for Tinkoff Saxo. It's probably put their race, their race will be pretty much over now. But Movistar heading towards the second intermediate time split. Here they come. The fastest time here is 19:27.93. Let's see whether Movistar are close to the time of Team Lotto Jumbo. They look to be riding strongly. 19:27.93 is the time to beat. And Movistar look like they are starting to accelerate. They didn't start fast, but they're starting to motor now. And they are going to go through this time split, and that is going to be 8 seconds. 19:19.25, new fastest time for Movistar. I'm hearing out on the course, Team Giant Alpecin have gone through the third intermediate time split with the new fastest time, 34.04.09. The arrival now of Orica Green Edge at the intermediate time split. Are they going to go quicker than Ethics Quick Step? It's so close. The arrival of Trek Factory Racing at the finish line, 43.54.57. And that's good enough for second. But Orica are out on the course now. 10:47.43. But now the fastest team on this course are Movistar. But if you look at the comparisons, BMC are quick, Orica are quick, Ethics are quick, Movistar 9 seconds. This is going to be really, really tight between these squads. Giant Alpecin motoring along with Tom Dumoulin, the leader of the Vuelta a España for so long. This team are looking good, aren't they? They are really moving. Jonathan Castroviejo towards the back. Team Lotto Jumbo safely at the finish line then. 43 minutes 25.00. We saw Trek Factory Racing finish second so far, 43.54.25. And here we are with Etixx Quick Step. We know that they're going quick, but so close between all of these teams. On board Astana, I think they're dropping away at the moment, but we'll see. Team Giant Alpecin look to be motoring out on the course. New fastest time, as we mentioned. Movistar will be at that third intermediate time split very, very soon. But Giant Alpecin's average speed 54.773 right now, as we see BMC Racing Team heading towards the first intermediate time split. The time to beat at this point is that of Etixx Quickstep, 10:47.07. And it looks like this is going to be very, very fast indeed. They go through, and what is the time for BMC Racing Team? 10:43.32, 55.960 kilometers an hour. BMC Racing Team top of the leaderboard by 3.75 seconds. That's an impressive opening 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers in 10 minutes 43.32. The arrival then of the Lompre team at the finishing line, 44.15.58, good enough for 6th place. BMC then are the fastest team on the course at 10 kilometers, so 10 kilometers from a standing start in 10 minutes 43.32. Absolutely incredible. But you can see here that the GPS is telling us that there's only 6 or 7 seconds between each of the teams now. And BMC, have they started too quick? Have they got everything under control? Rowan Dennis, the fantastically talented Australian rider, Sylvain Dillier, Stefan Kung, Daniel Oss, Taylor Phinney, Manuel Kinziato. Join me on Twitter if you'd like to, at @McCrossan. Give us your predictions. Who do you think is going to win this race today? Who's your pick for the world title? Is it going to stay like this, or is things going to change? One of the Team Sky riders who has dropped off the back of their squad. Unfortunately, a bad day for them. So disappointing after their crash yesterday. To be expected. On board with Etixx Quickstep, there's Tom Bonan at the back of the group. Former world champion in the road race, of course. Just in front of him, Tony Martin. See how much Tom's having to work to just keep the momentum going. They really are shifting. So far, they 8 seconds faster, we believe, and they have just gone through the second intermediate time split in 19 minutes 10.98, so they are still faster than the Movistar team. The arrival of Agidouer Mondiala at the finish line. The arrival of Agidou La Mondiale at the finish. The time to beat is 43 minutes 25. Team Lotto Jumbo, that's not going to happen. So Agidou La Mondiale going to hit this finish line somewhere around about the 44-minute mark. And still Team Lotto Jumbo will be the leaders. What a fantastic day they've had so far. Lotto Jumbo went out early. They lost a rider, but Hessink, Kelderman, Lisa, Chalingi, Jos van Emden, Sepp van Marken still holding on to that top spot. There they are. There's Robert Hessink over there on the left-hand side. Full waves from them. Sepp van Marken giving us a wave. Etixx Quick-Step then. Can they bring home yet another world title? They are the fastest team on the course, but BMC haven't reached this intermediate time split. Looks like it's still going to be tight, and it looks like Etixx are the fastest team, and Movistar are starting to motor as well. So this is going to be between these four teams by the looks of things, and it is going to be a slender few seconds between all of them. Orica, Green Edge, we always expect them to pick the tempo up on the run-in, and as you can see now, the GPS changing all the time. The arrival then of Team Giant Alpecin, the team of Tom Dumoulin. These are the tallest bike riders as an average in this race. They are so powerful. Here they go. They set the standard out at the third split, so we're expecting a fast time here. 43.25.00 is the time to beat for the squad of Lotto Jumbo in the hot seats. Here come Team Giant Alpecin. Team Giant Alpecin lifting the tempo as they make their way towards the finish line. I'm looking to see if Dumoulin has made it into the group. He's going to be very, very tired after his ride in the Vuelta a España. 4 riders in. Here we go. Heading towards the conclusion of this team time trial. They're going to go top of the leaderboard. They're going to beat the time of Team Lotto Jumbo. Team Giant Alpecin reach the finish line 43.11.66, and they go top of the leaderboard by 13.3 seconds. Look at the pain on those faces. That hurt a lot. We're just hearing on Radio Tour that Orica Green Edge are reaching the intermediate checkpoint, the second one. And they're very close. Here we go. They're very close to the time of Etixx Quick-Step. 19 minutes 10.98. So they are still in with a shout of this gold medal. They've just lost a rider. So down to 5 riders. 2.53 seconds now is in it between Orica Green Edge and Etixx Quick-Step. It was so tight in the opening kilometre. They were neck and neck, but Movistar looked to me to be ripping the tempo up a little bit more. They have got some serious firepower in this squad, and look how close it is between all these teams. Alex Dowsett said to me yesterday, we should go and hopefully get a podium. But what colour is that medal going to be if indeed that is what they managed to do? Etixx Quick-Step now in one long pace line. Remember, we have seen already Tinkoff Saxo's hopes dashed with that crash. A huge crowd now in the finishing area, enjoying this racing. But it looks like BMC Racing now are starting to turn the screw a little bit on Etixx Quick-Step. Orica Green Edge with 22 seconds advantage on Giant Alpecin. Movistar, are they going to finish 4th now? It's so close between all of these squads. Looking down on Orica Green Edge, who just lost a rider. I think it was possibly Jens Maurice, who dropped. But here we go, on the front then of this squad, number 41, Andre Amador, tucks in on the wheel, the Costa Rican rider who made a little bit of history, but they've still got all their riders intact. Going to the front is Jonathan Castroviejo. Izagiri is in there as well. Alex Dowsett sitting in on the wheel, on second wheel now. They really are starting to motor, and the fact they've still got 6 riders intact is very, very good for Movistar. Here's the arrival of Rowan Dennis's BMC racing team. Are they going to set the standard? They look very, very good indeed. The fastest time to this point, 19 minutes 10.98 by Ethics Quick Step. They look like they're going to beat it, and they're going to beat it by some margin. BMC racing team now heading towards that split, and they are the only team underneath 19 minutes, 18 minutes and 58 seconds. Lotto Soudal heading towards the finish line. The best team at the finish is Team Giant Alpecin, 43 minutes 11.66. Lotto Soudal not far outside that time. Team Lotto Jumbo in second place, 43.25.00. Lotto Soudal now reach the finish line in 43.34.44. Good enough for third so far, but expect that to drop away. BMC Racing Team, the only team under the 19-minute mark at the second intermediate time split. Have they gone out too fast? That's the big question, but they don't look like it right now. They are absolutely driving on. Manuel Quinziato on the front, followed by now Rowan Dennis as he goes through, the former world hour record holder. It is BMC Racing Team and Ethics Quick Step. We're being told on the GPS who are neck and neck, but the intermediate time splits are not really showing that. Certainly it is with a big advantage, BMC Racing Team, who have the advantage on all the other squads. Ethics Quick Step into the smaller roads. We haven't really seen this section too much, but there are some slightly more technical sections, and this is the hardest bit. Here are Tinkoff Saxo decimated by that crash. Now they're up and running, but the guys are ragged, and you can just see Michael Volgren Anderson has hardly any skin suit left on his back. All his shoulder ripped as well. Back out with BMC Racing Team. So if you just joined us now, the fastest time at the finish is Giant Alpecin, 43.11.66. But it's BMC Racing Team who are ripping this course up. 18.58.59 is their time at the second intermediate split. Here's the arrival now of Movistar at the next intermediate time split. The fastest time to here was Giant Alpecin, 34 minutes 4.09. But Movistar are absolutely rocking now as they make their way to the split. Astana heading towards the conclusion of their team time trial. 43.11.66 is the time to beat. Giant Alpecin are not going to be beaten by the Astana Pro team. So Giant Alpecin are still going to be top of the leaderboard. We're hearing on Radio Tour that Movistar are going quicker out on this course now. In fact, they've set the fastest time at the third intermediate time split, 33.39.77 for the Movistar team. Way faster than Giant Alpecin. But BMC Racing Team, have they gone too quick at the beginning? Have they got enough left in the tank to win this world title? They took it last year. Here's the replay just of Movistar going through, 24 seconds faster. We heard on Radio Tour that they were the quickest team, and Movistar looking very, very good now. Here we are with Etixx Quickstep. 19:10.98 to 19:19 of Movistar at the second split, and Etixx Quickstep are not too far away now from reaching there. Look how close it is between these teams now. It is BMC and Etixx, we're being told, who are neck and neck with Orica and Movistar going for the medals. Who is going to win this one? You just don't know with Movistar's time trialling ability. You look at who they've got. They've won team time trials so many times, and now the GPS can sometimes just give you that little reading that might not be 100%, but it's as tight as it can possibly be. But Movistar with Mallory is such a fast time trialist. Dowsett a fast time trialist. Amador is so strong. Suterlin is an incredible time trialist. But BMC to me just look absolutely ready for this one. They looked ready for it yesterday when I was talking to their squad. Talked to Alan Piper yesterday, and Marco Pinotti has been with them. Rowan Dennis was very much up for this. And they look really good right now. On the back of the group, wearing number 6, sprinting to get straight back into the wheel, Manuel Quinziato. Quinziato, of course, was the 4th member of that squad last year with Van Garderen and Vellet, but he's also been a member of the silver medal winning team in 2012. He was with Gilbert, Finney, Pinotti, Van Garderen and Ballan on that occasion. Quinziato always a stalwart of the BMC racing team. Well, it looks to me like they're going even quicker now, BMC, on the comparison, and the medals are between Orica, Etixx and Movistar with BMC racing team. And Orica always produce something in the run into the finish. This is going to be another thrilling finale to this race. Yves Lampiet on the back, wearing number 23. Winner of the 3 days of West Flanders. 7th in the Paris-Roubaix this year, you may remember. Only 24 years of age. As we wait for the arrival of the next squad to reach the intermediate time split, the 3rd split. We know that Etixx Quickstep are motoring. We know that BMC are the only team under 19 minutes at the 2nd split. And looking down on this squad, 5 riders keeping the tempo high. This looks like Orica Green Edge. Just heard on Radio Tour that Katusha have reached the intermediate time split at 31.1 kilometers. They're not going to trouble the leaders at all. But now it is down to Orica Green Edge. Can the Australian squad bring home the medal? Here's Katusha. A little replay of them going through this intermediate time split. 35 minutes. They're going to be way down in the standings. Nothing to surprisingly trouble any of these squads. Movistar then. Head-to-head with Etixx Quickstep and Orica for the medals. BMC look to me to be the fastest team on the course. Seeing on the back of the group there, wearing number 26, Rigoberto Urán, one of the favourites for the road race this weekend, coming up in 1 week's time. Urán won Quebec in magnificent style just a week and a couple of days ago, attacking on the final climb. And they're almost freewheeling at the back. They're going so fast now, this Etixx Quickstep team. Whoa, they go through the intermediate time split. That is a stunning time. 33, 22, 25 for Etixx Quickstep. 17 seconds faster than the Movistar team. That is a sparkling performance by Etixx Quickstep. And only 2 other teams to reach that checkpoint now. One will be this squad of Orica Green Edge in the blue, green and white. As we see Team Sky, it's not been their day. They've nursed their way through to the finish. Stannard And third wheel, they lost Luke Rowe. Danny Pate, an amazing performance by him to hang on in there. And the other rider is Salvatore Puccio. We expected to lose Viviani, but Luke Rowe has dropped off as well. The face on Stannard. Yogi sitting on the back of the group. You have to admire the way that Danny Pate is able to hurt himself. Not Tinkoff Saxo on the screen, as you know. It is Team Sky. Vasil Kirienka, former medalist, of course, in these World Championships in the time trial, reaching the finish line. Team Sky, 43. And I'll just tidy that one up for you in a second. Team Sky finish. As soon as I get you the confirmed time, I'll give it to you. But here are Orica Greenedge, heading towards the next intermediate time split. Fastest time to there, 33.39.77 it was, and then Ethics Quickstep beat it, 33.22.25. Things are showing us right now that Orica are slowing down a little bit. But as you've seen, sometimes the intermediate time split tell you much more of a story than the GPS comparison does. Here's Movistar at the top of the climb with 5 riders. Now they're going to start to accelerate, going for the finish. Movistar, can they beat the fastest time so far? And it looks like they will. The fastest time, 43.11.66. They are making their move now. 4 riders intact. Have they used their tactics well? They'll have used Dowsett to the bottom of the climb. And Suterlin, the time to beat is now 43.11.66. Movistar punching towards the finish line now. It's a long, long finishing straight after you come over that little rise. It really, really hurts. They are going to be the first team underneath 43 minutes. Movistar are going to set the standard now for the medals as they head towards the conclusion of this time trial. It is Movistar who go top of the leaderboard, 42.38.08. Movistar by 33.5 seconds. So the question is, have they got their tactics right? They'll have used their heavier riders into the base of the climb to set the tempo. Orica Greenedge now reach the 3rd intermediate time split. It just appeared off the screen, 33.41.52. 3rd fastest time for Orica Greenedge, but BMC have not reached there, of course. Here come the Tinkoff Saxo team. Battle-scarred, bruised, very little lycra on some of these riders. Disappointing day for Tinkoff Saxo. Let's hope all of them are okay. Big touch of wheels. And then that was it. Michael Rogers and Michael Volgren Anderson hitting the deck. And hopefully they'll recover before the weekend, next weekend, and the road race. They look to be, just before that happened, riding so tightly and strongly, but some days just that little touch of wheels and the day is over. Tinkoff Saxo reach the finish line. So where are the medals going to go? Movistar are the leaders, 42 minutes 38.08. Thanks to Wes Hellier. I agree with you, the passion for sport here in Richmond is fantastic. Everyone is enjoying these world titles already, and we're only on day one. The sun is shining, it's really warm outside, and it's not long now until we award the gold medal for this team time trial. It is Movistar 42:38.08 who are top of the leaderboard. Out on the course, BMC Racing Team about to reach the intermediate time split, number 3. And you know, it's not far between them and Etixx Quick-Step. 33:16.45. BMC Racing Team go top of the leaderboard. So BMC Racing Team lead at the third split, 33:16.45. In second place, Etixx Quick-Step. In third place, Movistar. In fourth place, Orica Green Edge. But only 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds, between Movistar and Orica Green Edge for the bronze medal position right now. But remember, it's all about the tactics. Movistar used their riders into the base of that climb, and they had their riders intact, and then they had 4 at the finish line. Etixx Quick-Step now going 60k an hour, fast downhill into the centre of Richmond to try and take this title. They've won it twice as Omega Pharma Quick-Step, BMC Racing Team with the Australian rider Rowan Dennis. 4 of these riders in this red and black clad team, winners of the gold medal last year. They brought in Stefan Kung and they brought in Taylor Phinney. Can Phinney, on his comeback World Championships after that terrible crash, win a gold medal here in the United States of America? Going uphill now with Etixx Quick-Step onto Grosvenor Street, and this final climb up towards the finish. Etixx Quick-Step 33 minutes 22.25 at the third intermediate time split. They have won this twice. It is a real battle between them and BMC. At the back of the group then, Yves Lampaert is unable to go with the tempo. He's fighting his way onto the string. On the front of the group is the world champion, the defending world champion, Michał Kwiatkowski. Yves Lampaert unable to go with the tempo being set by Etixx Quick-Step. On the back now, Nicky Terpstra. They have to finish with 4 riders. In front of Terpstra, Tom Boonen. He is doing well. Kwiatkowski looks very, very strong as they turn left. Tony Martin now will give it some welly, and they'll go for the finish line. The arrival now of Katusha. Only a few teams left to finish to decide this world title. Katusha are going to hit the finish line now, and they do. 41.10, 15th place. But just behind them now, the arrival of Etixx Quick-Step, twice the world champions. The time to beat now, 42:38.08. This is going to be an immense time. This is going to be the fastest time for Etixx Quick-Step. They are now only a few hundred meters from the line. Tony Martin, the multiple world champion of the individual time trial, motoring his way towards the finish. 4 riders intact. They look good. They're sprinting for it. They're going to be the first team under 43 minutes. New best time, 42:19.32. That is a stunning performance by Etixx Quick-Step. Very, very impressive indeed. So, first at the moment, Etixx Quick-Step, 42:19.32. Movistar second, 42:38.08. Now it's all down to who decides the medals, and BMC suddenly look a little bit more ragged than they have done. They've lost a rider. They're down to 5. We haven't seen Orica Green Edge out on the course. We're still waiting for the arrival of them. Can Orica Green Edge get a medal? It is now on the front of the group. How impressive is Daniel Oss as he lines things out on the back of the group. Sylvain Dillier, a winner of a stage of the Arctic race on the final day of the Arctic race this year, when his teammate Ben Hermans was dropped on the run into the conclusion of the race. Moving over to the left-hand side, wearing number 4 there, Daniel Oss. Going to the front now is, I think, Taylor Phinney. Phinney now looking to try and bring this one home, or is Phinney still in the group? Rowan Dennis wearing number 1. They turn, and now they're going to set themselves up for the finish line. We're still waiting for the arrival of Orica Greenedge. They will be the next team to finish, but it is Taylor Phinney. I think I'm seeing whether Taylor is still in this group. Can an American take a gold medal on day one of these World Championships? They've dropped one rider. Phinney is still in here. He's not going to get dropped for anyone, is he? Looking yesterday, the scars on his leg are unbelievable. The big crash that he had. Heading now towards the conclusion of this race. It is BMC Racing Team. Looks to me like they have this nailed, but of course it's not over until they get into that finishing straight and power for the line. It's a tough finish. Orica Greenedge, can they beat the time of Movistar and take a medal here? Movistar are looking for the podium finish. The fastest time, 42.19.38. That's 42.19.32. Second place, 42.38.08. We're still looking for Orica Greenedge, as we see BMC Racing Team are the fastest team on the course, but it is starting to diminish in terms of their gap. 10 seconds. One rider starting to suffer. Right at the back of the group is number 6, Manuel Quinziato, but he fights his way on. Here's the arrival now of Orica Greenedge. Are they going to get on the podium? They have been on the podium every single World Championship so far. They're looking now to set themselves up. In the last 3 years, they got bronze and 2 silvers. As they look around at each other, they're not as strong perhaps as they have been this season in this team time trial, but they still are looking good. Orica Greenedge, can they take the medal from Movistar? 42.38.08 is the time to beat. They're not going to do it. Orica Greenedge are going to be outside the time, which means that it is going to come down to the performance of BMC on the run into the finish as to who takes the gold medal. Orica Greenedge looks to me like they're going to finish in 4th place. They're going to be inside the 43-minute mark. Orica Greenedge arrive at the finish line 43 minutes 0170. Only one team now left to finish this team time trial. It is the defending champions, BMC Racing Team. Is this going to be a dream come true for Taylor Phinney? He had that terrible crash 18 months ago. He's had so much rehab, and he's fought his way back into this team for this team time trial, and he's one of the 4 riders who is still in here as Rowan Dennis, the Australian, powers his way uphill. On his wheel is Danielos, the Italian powerhouse. On his wheel, normally in the stars and stripes, is Taylor Phinney. Behind him, Sylvain Dillier holding on. Sylvain's just got to stay there. They've got to finish with 4 riders. Rowan Dennis setting a really great tempo now. The time that they have to beat is that of Ethics Quickstep. 42 minutes 19.32. They're going to get to the top of this hill in Grosvenor Street. Dillier is having to just hold on. He is going through all sorts of pain. We've seen the medals lost by one rider being dropped off in the final run-in. Dillier's looking okay though. Rowan Dennis now gets into his aero tuck. These riders are driving for the finish line. BMC Racing Team. Rowan Dennis looks across. He gives them a final shout. The time to beat of Ethics Quickstep, 42.19.32. They're in the finishing straight. This looks like it is going to be gold for BMC Racing Team. The United States of America, Taylor Phinney is going to take a gold medal in the World Championships in Richmond 30 years after they were last here. They now put on the power. 42.19.32. They are going to do it. BMC Racing Team are going to defend their title. Taylor Phinney is going to lead them across the line. This is what dreams are made of. BMC Racing Team win the gold medal, 42.07.97. What an absolutely stunning performance by BMC Racing Team. Taylor Phinney wins a world title in his return World Championships a few weeks ago. He didn't even think he would be here. Rowan Dennis, the Australian, leading across the line with Taylor Phinney. Danielos as well. They all congratulate each other. What an absolutely incredible win. Rowan Dennis, Sylvain Dillier, Stefan Kung, Taylor Phinney, Manuel Cinziato and Daniel Oss absolutely screaming in Rowan Dennis's ear. Rowan Dennis said to me yesterday that he was so looking forward to trying to win today, and he thought they could do it. That was a stunning finish. Here's the result then. BMC Racing Team win the World Team Time Trial Championships. 42 minutes 7.97. Ethics Quickstep 11.35 down. Movistar get on the podium for the first time and take the bronze medal. There's the rundown of the rest of the teams. Well, we'll get ready for the presentation. Tinkoff Saxo, a disappointing day for them. Let's hope all those guys recover. But here are the medal winners. Movistar, their time 42 minutes 38.08. Third place for them. A very strong showing. They haven't made the podium before. Here's Ethics Quickstep, driven on by Tony Martin as usual. But today BMC were just too good. Bonin, Kwiatkowski, Lampiet, Martin, Terpstra and Uran gave it everything they had. But it comes down to the drive of BMC with Rowan Dennis, Dillier, Oss, Cinziato, all gold medalists last year, joining in with Stefan Kung and the American Taylor Phinney. Well, Taylor's given the Americans something to cheer about on day one of these titles. The amount of interest in him yesterday was incredible, but they are now going to stand on the top step of the podium. The American registered BMC squad and the fans, I think, are going to love it. Blue skies, a little bit of wispy cloud here and there, but Richmond has had a great opening day to these World Championships. Thanks for all your messages on Twitter. Sorry I haven't managed to answer all of them, but we'll do that over the coming days. But thank you nonetheless for all of you for joining us for these world titles. We'll bring you the presentation and the interviews and everything in a few minutes' time. Well, if the racing's going to carry on like this, we're going to have a fantastic week of racing here in Richmond. Interesting at the time splits, the opening time split, BMC were fastest at 10 kilometres. They were fastest at the second split. Second, when you look at it, over the final phase of the race, their run into the finish was not quite as fast as some of the other teams. In fact, Team Sky were fastest over the final part of the race. Ethics Quickstep were pretty consistent, second and third over the final phase. And Movistar went sixth fastest in the opener and then went quicker and quicker. On the screen then, the results of the top rider teams up to the top 16, and now down to 24th. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the sights and sounds of Richmond today. We're going to bring you the presentation of today's men's team time trial in just a few moments. And of course, we'll hear from the winning team, BMC Racing team. And I would think it would be fitting if we heard from an American here in Richmond in Virginia. And one of the members of that team, of course, Taylor Phinney, the comeback kid, has arrived in Richmond. And he's now going to take a gold medal in a few minutes' time with the rest of his teammates in the BMC Racing team, of course, registered in the United States. So let's hear from the comeback kid himself, Taylor Phinney.
Taylor Phinney, you're American, you ride for an American team, BMC, and you're a world champion here in Richmond, Virginia. This must be really special.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to process. It's been kind of a roller coaster the past couple of years, and I mean, to win with the team is fantastic. It was a hard race, man. It's really hard out there. It's hard to keep the finish line in mind, but we did it. We wanted to do this, and I'm a little bit at a loss for words.
Take us through those 38 kilometers. It was a really tough course, but you looked so comfortable, and you had the cheers of the crowd, of course.
Yeah, we've done a lot of work. You know, we've had a lot of support from the management. This is a huge goal for us as a team, and I feel fortunate that I could just make this team. If you asked me a month ago if I was going to be here, team time trial world champion, you know, it's surreal, man. It's really weird and great, and I'm thankful and just honored to be able to be a part of this experience, you know.
You're a world champion. It probably gives you more appetite for the week to come.
Yeah, I'll think about that when I wake up tomorrow. But it's a long week, and it's just gonna get better with the energy from the crowds from here on out. And couldn't have started it a better way. Rowan Dennis really pulled us today. I mean, that guy was the anchor of the team. Not in the sense that he was actually an anchor holding us back, but driving us forward. So
tonight, a little celebration.
Yeah, I mean, I find any chance I get to celebrate, I'll celebrate a little bit, and then look forward to the next week.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Taylor Phinney, kind of echoing what he said yesterday, which is he's so thankful. No, this is the recap where we saw Tinkoff Saxo suddenly hitting the deck with a terrible crash. Let's hope these guys are okay. Here's Movistar then. They did everything right.
Movistar team.
And the arrival then of the Movistar team at the finish line. They finished in 42:38.08.
They're underway. It's Edix Quickstep.
Etix Quickstep with their squad. Twice the world champions, Bonin, Kwiatkowski, Lampiet, Martin Terpstra and Uran. Impressive performance yet again by the Etix Quickstep boys, finishing 42:19.32 and taking second place. But these guys didn't put a foot wrong all day. Opened up with a very fast 10:43.32 for the opening 10K. Their next 7.8 kilometers was covered in 8 minutes 15.27, and it's not flat. And then they rolled into the finish to take today's victory. Very, very impressive indeed by BMC Racing Team. That final climb, Sylvain Dillier, look at him sprinting, flat out, right on his limit to stay in the wheels, to make sure that they took the title. And at the finish line, there was no doubt. 42 minutes, 7.97 gives them the gold. Now the American flag is flying, and already they have a gold medal. Now, unusually, the podium presentation is indoors here in Richmond, as you can see. Well, let's hope they don't tangle the medals up in this one. Nice, clean presentation. As we wait then for the podium presentation of these UCI Road World Championships, the team time trial. Don't forget, over the coming days, we have lots more happening as far as the time trials are concerned. Tomorrow we have the men's under 23 individual time trial, and of course the women race, the elite individual time trial on Tuesday, and the men's individual time trial is on Wednesday. On Friday, after a day of rest, well, training for some, we have the men's under 23 road race on Friday, the men's elite on Sunday, and the women's elite is on Saturday. As we wait now for the podium presentation of today's men's team time trial. We've already seen the women's race earlier on today, which was a really close contest and very, very exciting indeed. So far then in world titles in team time trialing, in the men's we've seen 2 wins for Omega Pharma Quickstep, or Ethics Quickstep now, and then 2 wins for the BMC Racing Team. First time that we'll see Movistar on the podium. Before today, it was only Orica Green Edge and Sky who had also made the podium with BMC and Ethics Quickstep. Here we are then with the podium presentation.
May we have your attention for the awards ceremony of the International Cycling Union Road World Championship Team Time Trial.
Cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde sur route de l'Union cycliste internationale contre la montre par équipe, messieurs.
The awards ceremony of the UCI Men's Team Time Trial World Championships.
Here's the team time trial presentation then.
De bronze.
In third place, earning the bronze medal, registered in Spain, please welcome the Movistar cycling team.
Movistar take the bronze medal, led on by Alex Dowsett, the former world hour record holder from Great Britain. The team of Andre Amador from Costa Rica, Jonathan Castrovieco, Johnny Zaghiri, Adriano Malori, the Italian rider, and Jascha Sütterlin with Alex Dowsett.
Andre Amador. Jonathan Castroviejo. Alex Dowsett. John Zaghiri. Adriano Malori.
Well, it's going to be interesting when we get to the men's elite time trial. In here today you've seen Dennis, the Dowsett, Malori, and other fantastic bike riders like Tony Martin. That's going to be some tussle.
And now, to present flowers to the bronze medal team, the CEO of Westrock, Mr. Steve Voorhees.
Médaillé d'argent.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medalists of Team Movistar.
Movistar take the bronze medal in the Team Time Trial World Championships.
We now present the silver medal. In second place, registered in Belgium, the Ethics Quick-Step team.
Ethics Quick-Step led on by Nicky Terpstra. Following him, Tom Bonen. Is Bonen going to figure in the road race of the weekend? He looks very lean and ready to race for me. Nico Kwiatkowski, Rigoberto Urán, Tony Martin on the far left, Yves Lampiette next to them.
Tom Bonen. Michael Kwiatkowski. Yves Lampiette.
President of the UCI, Brian Cookson, presenting the medals.
Nicky Terpstra. And Rigoberto Urán.
Rigoberto Urán has got a big fan club here.
And now, presenting the flowers, the CEO of Westrock, Mr. Steve Voorhees.
Rigoberto Urán's fan club are cheering away, singing his name.
Ladies and gentlemen, the silver medalists of Ethics Quick-Step.
Et maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, les premiers de l'épreuve, médaillés d'or et champions du monde.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the World Team Time Trial Champions, earning gold medals from the United States, BMC Racing.
BMC Racing team win the gold medals, led on by Taylor Phinney. They are the world champions.
And once again, presenting the medals,
Stefan Kung and Sylvain Dillier, with Rowan Dennis, Daniel Ost and Manuel Quinziato
Dennis.
Also with him, Jimokovic, and on the far left, Alan Piper.
Sylvain Dillier. Stefan King. Daniel Os. Manuel Quinziato.
So they defend their title.
Taylor Finney.
Et maintenant pour présenter les fleurs.
And presenting flowers is Mr. Steve Voorhees, the CEO of Westrock.
Well, BMC Racing team staying in our hotel tonight. We'll tell you later in the week whether they celebrated. I think they've got a lot to think about over the next week with these World Championships.
BMC Racing, your World Team Time Trial Champions.
Et maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, en l'honneur des champions du monde, écoutons l'hymne national.
What a change it's made for Rowan Dennis to move to BMC. Since then, what an incredible season he's had.
Please rise for the playing of the United States National Anthem.
The medalists then in the World Championships. The world champions of BMC Racing team, the silver medalist Ethics Quick Step, and the bronze medalist Movistar.
Presentation of the World Champions Trophy by UCI President Mr. Brian Cookson, presenting to Jim Ukowitz on behalf of BMC Racing.
Mesdames et messieurs, votre podium des championnats du monde sur route contre la montre par équipe, messieurs.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your World Team Time Trial Champions podium.
Well, that's a popular win this afternoon.
And gentlemen, we'll ask you to step forward for photos of our podium.
Mesdames et messieurs, ceci conclut notre cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde sur route de l'Union cycliste internationale ici à Richmond en Virginie. On vous souhaite une belle soirée et à demain.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes
there we are then, the podium presentation of this afternoon, concluding today's racing.
Thank you for attending the Richmond 2000.
And we'll leave you with some sights and sounds from here in Richmond of the men's team time trial. Thanks for joining us today. From me, Anthony McCrossan. Join me again. Bye for now.